Hello, friends. We are continuing on with the fan fiction Baked with Love. Today, we're going to be doing chapters 7, 8, and 9 because they're all pretty short. All right, this is chapter 7 Half Baked. Kirishima didn't go back to the bakery the next day, not the day after that either. Instead, he holed up in the quiet room he'd been renting above the diner 2 blocks down. The wallpaper was peeling. The AC wheezes. The only light comes from a single cracked window overlooking a street that barely sees traffic. It's perfect. For hours, he stares at his laptop, fingers hovering above keys, a blank document blinking like it's daring him to be honest. Not clever, not charming, honest. He scrolls through the photos first, the ones Bakugo let him take, the ones he snapped quickly when no one was looking, hands dusted in flour, steam curling off of a pie. The crooked smile of a little girl holding a cupcake like it's a treasure. But it's the one he didn't mean to take. The candid, raw one of Bakugo mid-sentence, sleeves pushed up, sun cutting across his cheekbone like a spotlight that sticks in his throat. That one's never going online. That one's just his. Kirishima starts writing. It's not the piece he pitched, not some spicy takedown of a rude but brilliant baker with a cult following and a deft wish for manners. It's a quiet essay about fire and flour, about grief, about the things we build when we're not given love in the way that we need, and how that doesn't mean we stop trying. About a man who yells like it's a defense mechanism, who bakes like it's proving something, and maybe he is. About how easy it is to mock what you don't understand, how staying can mean more than showing up. He doesn't send it to his editor, he prints it, and 2 mornings later, clean shirt, camera bag in hand, heart pounding in his chest, he walks back to Death by Flavor. Bakugo looks up from behind the counter, expression unreadable. I'm not here to fix anything, Kirishima says quietly, but I wanted you to read something before I even think about publishing. He slides the printed pages across the counter and doesn't say anything else. Bakugo doesn't reach for them, but he doesn't throw them out either. And for now, that is enough. Chapter 8, Let It Rest. Bakugo doesn't touch the pages all day. He leaves them sitting on the counter like they might explode, but not where someone else could read them. Every time he passes by, he glances at them, jaw clenched, brow tight, like they're a dare. He waits until the shop is closed, the lights off, the silence thick. Then he takes them home. His apartment is above the bakery, clean, functional. There's a chair in the corner he rarely uses, but he sits there now, elbows on knees, paper trembling just slightly in his flour-roughed hands. And he reads. It's not what he expected. There are no jokes, no angles, no polished critique of his temper or some tongue-in-cheek rating for his croissants. It's real. Too real. It talks about legacy, about being raised to chase perfection and choosing honesty instead, about building something small and good in a world that only seems to value the loudest, flashiest, and most palatable things. It talks about how the bakery isn't just a place, but a person. He bakes like he's trying to prove he deserves to take up space, but the proof's already in the crust. You just have to be brave enough to taste it. Bakugo swallows hard. His throat hurts. And then, at the very end, scrawled in Kirishima's messier handwriting, a different pen, definitely added later, is this. Bakugo. You were supposed to be a 1,500-word feature. I wasn't supposed to fall for you. But I did, slowly, then all at once. I don't know if this story ever goes public, but I wanted you to see it. I wanted you to see you. If you ever want to see me again, I'd like that. I think there's more here than just a headline. Kirishima. And his number is underneath. Chapter 9. sweetened to taste. Kirishima left the story on the counter, walked out the door, and immediately considered turning around. He didn't, but he wanted to. It took him 3 hours and 2 wrong turns just to leave town. By the time he made it to a motel 2 cities over, he hadn't heard a word. Not a text, not a call. He stared at his phone until the screen went dark. Then he stared at the ceiling. This was stupid. This was so stupid. He fell for the guy, wrote the damn story. Now what? Kirishima felt his phone buzz. He glanced down, expecting another work email or a news alert. Instead, a message popped up. No contact name, just a number. Unknown number. You're a pain in the ass, but I guess I don't hate having you here. His breath hitched, and an unexpected grin spread across his face, wide and genuine, the kind that reached his eyes. The familiar roughness behind the words made his heart skip. He stared at the message for a moment, rereading it like it might disappear. Then, without hesitation, he grabbed his jacket and slung his camera bag over his shoulder. No second thoughts, no lingering doubts. He was going back. Kirishima stood near the counter, camera in hand. The morning light was perfect, soft and golden, catching on the rising steam from a fresh batch of rolls and the flour-dusted edges of the counter. Bakugo was at the workstation, sleeves pushed up, kneading dough like it had personally offended him. He hadn't said much when Kirishima walked in, just a glance, and muttered, "You're early," and went back to work. Kirishima didn't speak. He didn't want to break the moment. He lifted the camera slowly, framing the shot. Click. Bakugo stiffened. His hands paused mid-press, and his eyes flicked up, more reflex than actual annoyance. He didn't snap, just grumbled without looking over. "Thought I told you no faces." Kirishima lowered the camera, grinning sheepishly. "Sorry, it was a good moment. The light was too good to pass up." Bakugo didn't answer, but his shoulders eased slightly. He didn't stop him. Kirishima scrolled through the preview and then turned the screen around. "Here, this one. It's the best." Bakugo glanced, then squinted at the photo, arms folded, apron streaked with flour, face caught in a quiet moment of focus, not smiling, not posed, just present. He frowned. "I still look pissed." Kirishima laughed softly, shaking his head. "You look like you." Kirishima paused for just a beat. You don't have to smile for it to be a good shot. For a moment, neither of them said anything. The bakery hummed with the warmth of the ovens and the scent of sugar and spice. Bakugo didn't argue, just went back to the dough, slower now. The kind of slow that meant he was thinking, even if the words weren't ready. But the looseness in his jaw, the shift in his hands, it spoke volumes. Kirishima leaned against the counter, camera resting on the strap around his neck. Bakugo's focus shifted back to the dough, but the silence between them was softer now. After a moment, Bakugo spoke without looking up. "You hungry?" Kirishima blinked. "Always." Bakugo rolled his eyes. "I've got something new in the back. Might let you try it." Kirishima's grin returned, slower this time. "If it's poisoned, at least I'll die full." Bakugo huffed a laugh, barely, but it was there. The sun continued its slow crawl through the windows. Dough rose, tension settled, and for the first time in days, neither of them felt like they needed to fill the quiet. All right, friends, thank you for joining me for those 3 chapters, 7, 8, and 9. The next video will be the last one. It'll be chapters 10 and 11, and this fic only has 11 chapters, so we'll be getting the last 2 chapters in the next one. All right, I hope you join me for the next video, and I will see you guys next time for the finale.